concern on separating or giving information.
Read that again, bro.
Dang, boy. The third law is to abnegate one's own self. Being willing in heart to sacrifice one's own desires, possessions, and opinions for the sake of peace and the good of the family. This is the most difficult law. For the selfishness of man, look at this. For the selfishness of man causes him to say, I have such a love of liberty. Let me be the dictator and you do my decrees. Look at that way. Ja's kingdom, y'all, is all about being selfless.
Exactly.
And that's why the four horsemen are such a threat to the conscious community, because we selfless.
Yeah, we ahead of the game. We know what it is.
That's why the other teams, when they get together, it don't work. You're too selfish. You got your own agenda. Y'all stumbling over each other. Looking half retarded. You don't know what time you supposed to go on. Your slides ain't working. Y'all arguing with each other. Come on, man. Let me get in now. We only got 7 more minutes.
Over there looking sloppy.
You're not organized, so you're selfish and you're inorganic. It'll never work for you. You'll never be able to beat us. Because we're not selfish. It ain't no big eyes and little U's. We like, bro, we come like this, hit him with this, like that, man, it's game over. We sit back and rub our chins and be like, you know what? That sound right. Let's go ahead and execute that.
They don't even know how easy it was to beat them. We just don't toot our horn. It wasn't even hard.
Nah, I sure would. It was fun, actually. It was easy and fun. Look at this. Look what Sakai Steady saying. Remind you, this supposed to be the real Buddha, y'all. Look at this. If not for this evil among men, if not for what evil? Being a damn selfish, self-centered bastard. If not for this evil among men, they could dwell together in peace the world over.
Wow.
We got the blueprint. Look at this.
Right.
The fourth law is to love all men, women, and children as brothers and sisters. See, you can't come up in here with none of that bigotry and that racism, and you think you better. And somebody got to pick my cotton. Somebody got to answer to the crack of my whip.
We're going to check him, boy. We're going to check him hard. Who's that deacon?
When you hear Nick Rose talk like that, and that's their kingdom, and you finna be answering to the crack of their whip, realize this. Such men, their prayers ain't went past their earlobes. They ain't being inspired or led by nothing high raised. Kindergarten spirits.
Sippy cup brews.
Grades, to be honest with you, I ain't even gonna give them kindergarten. I'm gonna get these little niggas preschool spirits.
Yeah, those are sippy cup brews. Them niggas still nurtured on the breast and shit.
You gotta
Similac brews.
You gotta let that go, man. All brothers and sisters, all men, women, and children are your brothers and sisters. You gotta let that go, man. It was a big thing done, man, years ago. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember. I know because years ago, everybody was into how much melanin they had in their skin.
Yeah.
And this melanin, this concentrated form of melanin supposedly connected you to God or to the creator more than the next man, woman, or child. Niggas was up taking melatonin shots. Niggas was doing all type because melanin had became the new deity. Bro, this was like 3 years ago. Yeah. Everybody was talking about melanin.
Yeah.
Everybody.
They still are.
You know what I mean? It was the melanin goddess, this, melanin this, and if you ain't got enough concentrated forms of carbon within your skin, then you only can meditate, astral project, and go so far anyway.
Right. The blacker you are, the closer to God you are. It's crazy to hear all that.
Come on, man.
Just that one line right there kills that. What's that? The fourth law kills all that.
The fourth law, right? It says the fourth law is to love all men, women, and children as brothers and sisters. The fifth law is to return good for evil, to return pleasure to those who give pain. To practice those things, holding all things in common, is sufficient for the redemption of the world from darkness, war, and evil to what, Cosmon Cal? To peace, light, and happiness for all living. We got the blueprint. What are we talking about?
That's right. We got the blueprint.
We got the blueprint. It don't matter if the Great Reset come tomorrow. The knowledge and the science of how to establish Ja's kingdom on earth ain't going nowhere.
This is why I keep telling y'all, we got the key to defeat white supremacy and the capitalistic society, all at the same time without busting a shot.
Woo!
Exactly.
Wait. Now we done went from 7,053 BC. We down to 752 BCE. We damn near 7,000 years after Zarathustra. Now look what's being taught in the different divisions of the earth. Son of the Great Spirit, number 10. We got Caillou. In the words of Caillou, what they say, what you say, Kyle? Be a bridegroom, boy.
Yeah.
Son of the Great Spirit, number 10, Caillou of Japheth, aka Confucius. 752 BCE, Kyle. So the Brahma, the Buddha, everybody talking about today, and the Confucius, everybody talking about today. And what time period? What were their dates?
The one that we commonly know applied to Sakaya, Gautama as Buddha, come around 550, about roughly 550-ish. 600, 550-ish.
See, you see how we put everything.
Those are the guys we know, that we commonly know in religion.
All right. And we look at the timetables of prophets and we see these men popping up.
We're 152 years before that. The real man existed.
Exactly. Well, now we're about to deal with who is commonly called Confucius. But notice the time is 752 BC. I found this picture right here. It's like, yeah, I like that one.
That's all.
Chapter 36, God's Book of Esther, chapter 36. Oh, I speed. Headshot. Caillou said, such is the base the ancients have given into our hands, but who could follow them in detail? I was not born into the world for this, but to choose from each and all of them what all of them will accept. In the ancient days, our country was sparsely settled. Families were of good convenience. But behold, the land is full of people. I do not have just a few scattered barbarians to deal with. I have to deal with a learned people who have scarcely room to stand. I am only one man and you only 72. By ourselves, we can do nothing. Shang-Ti has shaped the times to our hands. Whether we live to see it matters little. The time will surely come when the emperor will be obliged to destroy the books of the ancients. Let us therefore take the cream of them and provide for their preservation while we may. Caillou then divided up the labor among his 72 disciples. Interesting. Apportioning the books of the ancients justly among them. And so great was the wisdom and scholarship of Caillou that in 12 days' time, some of his disciples were ready with their reports to begin. And from these reports, Caillou dictated, and the scribes wrote down his words. And it came to pass that when a committee presented a revision before Caillou, that he even knew it before it was read in the council. And he dictated on its contents, making the necessary alterations, after which the subject was given to the scribes to do the full rewrite. Now, the whole time of the first sitting of the council was 8.5 years, at which time they had been over all the work. But so great was the wisdom and memory of Caillou that he called out from the errors of his disciples enough material to require 2 years more deliberation. Oof. And thus, from the lips of Caillou, 20 books were produced containing the digest of more than 18,000 books. Dang. You mean to tell me he shrunk 20? Hold on. 20 books were produced containing the digest of more than 18,000? Wow. Nor had any man in all the world ever done even 1/10 of so great a feat of learning. The scribes wrote 6 copies for every one of the disciples, and when they were thus provided and were ready to depart, Caillou spoke to them, saying, "What, in your opinion, is the highest, best satisfaction?" And after the disciples had answered, some one thing and some another, the master said, "To know that one has done the highest thing, to know that one has done the highest thing within his power. This is the highest, best satisfaction. For what is any man at most but an agent of the Most High?" Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. It says, to be true to one's own highest idea. Is this not serving the Father? Ooh. To be neglectful in such conviction. Is this not the sickness of all to learn? What honor in your opinion does any man have? The disciples answered, some one thing and some another. After a while, the master said, if those beneath him honor him, then it is no honor to him. if those above him honor him, then it is a reproof of his other deeds. But if he honors himself, he has great honor indeed. But who can honor himself except he who is perfect in his own sight? He cannot do this, therefore he has no honor in extreme. To choose little honor, to choose a medium line, is this not the highest any man can attain to? To grieve over one's own self because of imperfection, this is great folly. To eat fruit, herbs, and rice, these are the purest diet. But only a fool would starve rather than eat flesh. Dang. Dang.
Bag drop. You know, that's the beauty about the Owaspis. It gives you wisdom and discernment. Like don't be too left and don't be too right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that deal say you a fool, nigga. You'll die when you eat that animal sandwich. Look.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the dope shit about Owaspi. It's not just saying like, this is the way. No, depending on your circumstances and situations, so shall you deal with the situation at hand.
Yeah, it ain't sacrilegious type like turn
right
on a religious jelly.
Exactly.
And it says, man must creator says man must learn to overcome evil on his own.
Big facts.
So
you may have to eat a ham sandwich to get them get by
to survive. Hey, listen, it's either that or that. I'm not that.
That's where the laws of preservation comes in at. You know what I mean? So we're in a position where we can eat the fruits and vegetables and sustain a higher life. But then Jaja may say, yo, send Aja. Let me show these niggas. Now they got to build up the B side of them. You know what I mean? That shit went deep, yo. So it's like you balanced on both ends, the physical and the spiritual.
Oh, hold on.
You talking, Melly? If so, you muted.
Oh yeah, my bad. I was on mute. My bad. Over the tripping. This deal say to eat fruits, herbs, and rice. These are the purest diet. But only a fool would starve rather than eat flesh. Rites and ceremonies are useful, but a man had better dispense with even these than to go to war for them. Hey, he said you better off leaving them alone and going to war for them. Look at this. Look at this right here. To rest on the ancients only. This is great folly. To honor the ancients only and to believe that they alone received revelation. These are the extremes of a foolish understanding. To remember that the Creator is ever present and with as much power, love, and wisdom today as in the ancient days. This is wisdom. To try to find some good thing one can do, this is credible. But to do nothing good because one cannot do it in his own way, this is execrable. Dang. He who finds a good work to do and does it has much satisfaction. But he should not exult in it, for he has only done his duty. I have no honor in these 20 books. Two kinds of men I have found: those who are predestined by the gods to accomplish a certain work, and those who are born with no predestination. The first are erroneously called the highest because they are at the head of great undertakings, but they are nevertheless only instruments in the hands of the gods. The others who are born without a predestined work never can understand the former. To be born near enough to the S, to the spirit light to see it and believe in it and have faith in it, this is a great delight. To be so far from the Creator that one cannot believe in his person and presence, this is, what is that? Pitiable. I divorced my wife because I discovered she could not bring forth heirs to believe or faith. No man should be bound to a woman whose desires lie in the physical self, and woman should have the same privilege. He who is wed to the Great Spirit, how can he dwell with one who is wed to the earth? To one man, celibacy is the highest life, because he has joy in his heavenly Father. But to one who does not have this joy, celibacy is a great punishment. The society must admit both conditions.
That's deep.
There is no mean between these two. Therefore, both must be provided for.
Look at that.
Those who desire celibacy. Those who desire celibacy approach the termination of the race. Those whose desires are the other way are of a breed not so far along. There need to be no quarrel between them. The destiny of both must be completed sometime. Look at this. When a country is sparsely settled, those of extremes can go and live aside. It is nothing to govern such a state or to proclaim extreme doctrines before them. But when a country is full of people, the two extremes and the mean must dwell in proximity. It is not an easy matter to govern them wisely. Whatever people can dwell together in great numbers on the smallest piece of ground and yet have peace and plenty, such a people are the highest of all peoples. Look at that.
That speaks volumes right there.
Where an extreme doctrine, look at this. Never heard. Where an extreme doctrine cannot be carried out, it is better to have a less extreme doctrine. Where an extreme doctrine cannot be carried out, it is better to have a less extreme doctrine. People, like a drove of sheep, are much inclined to follow a leader, in which case politicians, lawyers, and judges run the state into war. To legislate in such a way that leaders cannot lead the multitude into evil, this is wisdom. Were all leaders dead, the people themselves would not be very bad. Hold on. Hold on. To legislate in such a way that leaders cannot lead the multitude into evil. This is wisdom. Were all leaders dead, the people themselves will not be very bad. Yet it is wrong to take any man's life, for life is something man has no property in. Life rests with Jehovah only. It is his. Look at this. Look at this right here. Before the ignorant and before fools, we speak by commandment. China has passed that age. Our books must go persuasively, yes, in the mean balance between the extremes. To dictate to the learned is to cast one's treasures into the fire. By asking them questions, we can often lead them. Coaxing with effect is greater than dictation not obeyed. We preach to the rich man that he should give all he has to the poor, and he walks away giving nothing. When we say to him, give a little, he does it. In this case, the higher doctrine is the lower. And the lower doctrine is the higher because it has strength, potency. The ancient said, the first best thing was to love the Creator. I think so too. But when a philosopher asks me to prove that the Creator is a person and is worth loving, I am puzzled. To accept him as a person and as all good without criticism, this I find gives the greatest happiness. I have seen men, look at this. This right here is major. Look at this. This goes to the non-believer. Look what Caillou about to say. Powerful. He said, I have seen men who would pull the Creator to pieces and weigh his parts to know his worth. But such men end in disbelief in him. I have not found one such man who accomplished any good in the world. In the presence of goodly men, he is like a fly that delights in breeding maggots, pretty enough in himself, but a breeder of vermin in the state. Oh no.
That's cold right there.
I have seen men who, and this is because of no belief in the ever-present Creator. You know what I mean? Show me the Creator. You show him to me right now. Look what Caillou say. He say, I have seen men who will pull the Creator to pieces and weigh his parts to know his worth. But guess what? Such men still end in disbelief. They still end in disbelief. In other words, they're not asking you the question, show me the Creator right now. Show me where he at. They not asking you that with that condescending voice. You know what I mean? So you can prove it to them. You feel me? They gonna end in disbelief anyway. There's nothing you can show them.
Exactly.
Look at this. Yet he who says, let the evil practice evil because the Creator created them is of a narrow mind. Or if he says Jehovah sent the rainstorm to destroy the harvest, or Jehovah sends fevers to the dirty city, such a man lacks discretion in words and judgment. Coronavirus, oh, he sent that for the city dirty. The Wuhan virus, look at this. But he who perceives that man is part of the creation, in which he must do a part of the work himself, or fevers will result. Such a man has his understanding open in regard to the Father. Wow. Because you get to hearing about epidemics and pandemics and get to talking about judgment of God. And he's straight telling you, nah, none of that is around because the city is dirty. Man must perceive that he is part of the creation himself, in which he must do a part of the work himself. So so in other words, trip off this. You proactive in your life. You just not an innocent bystander in this thing we call life. You active. And if you don't do part of the work yourself, fevers are going to result. Such a man has his understanding open in regard to the Father. Between the too much casting of all things in the Creator's face and too little belief in him lies the mean which works or develops the perfection of man. To try to find the Creator with love and adoration instead of with a dissected knife. That's what the atheists. The atheists try to find a creator with a dissected knife. This leads man on the highest road. To trust in him while we strive to do our best. This is good philosophy. To lie about idly and not plant our fields, blindly trusting in him to provide. This is great darkness. In other words, you got to put your hand to the plow yourself. Look at this. A wise man perceiving the defects of the society will not censor it, but turn to work and find a remedy. It ain't good enough for you to be complaining about a young folk that's outside the streets sagging. What's the remedy? There you go, complaining. No remedies, though. It is for such purpose the angels of the higher heavens raise up great men in the world. I have seen many people in many different kinds of worship, and they go through their parts in the sacrifice without perceiving the spiritual idea of the founders. And they are neither better nor worse. They are neither better nor worse for it. The infidel, with little discretion, seeing this, abuses all the doctrines. But a wise man goes between them to find the good which others lose sight of. The last son of the Great Spirit is Yahshua the Essene, 146 BCE. If you're getting some understanding, throw us some nines up in the chat, man. We had the last son of the Great Spirit spoken of in OISP. You know what I mean?
Yeshua HaMashiach.
That's right. Go ahead and spend some voices. C-Lot, talk to us real quick, man. Talk to the family. What you think about what we going through and reading today, brother?
Hey, man, this is an excellent build. It's showing you the principalities that the prophets came with during the different time periods, starting from, Zarathustra coming on down. And it's interesting how really all this is a piggyback of the Zarathustrian religion. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's dope how you get the different virtues, the different jewels coming from the different parts of the countries, but they all coincide with Creator. And it's dealing with self-conviction, and letting you know what you got to do to get right with the Creator as far as taking your own personal steps, practical knowledge. And not once we talked about worshiping any God or falling to our face to any God. We're talking about responsibility. Salvation, redemption is a responsible act. Ain't no waiting on no saviors. We ain't waiting on Yeshua. Yeshua was sent to show you niggas how to do it. Here go the blueprint. You're going to become greater than I because I got to bounce. But if you come after me and keep upholding this, you're going to do greater things than I did. That's what he told niggas. So why are you waiting for this nigga to come back? If he told you, you're going to do greater things than me. So that dude in Revelations, y'all in Revelation 19, y'all better be mindful who that is because that ain't Yeshua.
We cooking, baby. Now we about to get into Yahshua the Essene, spoken of in OISP headshot. We gonna get into what he taught. So we done went through 11 sons of the Great Spirit from Zarathustra, 7053 BC, down to Abraham of Africa, 3953 BC. Brahma of India, 3953 BCE. Iwata of America, shout out to our Aboriginal family, 3953 BC. And Po of China, 3953 BC. All right, so we done went from the Ark of Elu, the 22nd Ark cycle, the Ark of Speda, 23rd Ark cycle. Now we into the Ark of Bond, the 24th Ark cycle since the creation of mortal. So we giving you a who, a what, a where, a why, and a when. We ain't just talking. See, whoever got a problem with we saying ain't gonna put it on the timeline, ain't gonna be able to run it down. Now we done went from 7053 BC all the way down to 146 BCE, and this is where you get Yeshua the Essene of Nazareth. Timetables of prophecy. Chapter 44, God's book of Esther. Now let's get into the doctrines of Yahshua the Essene. See, we ain't just talking. We got receipts.
Look at Yahshua looking like a soul brother. Look at Yahshua.
Owaspy is a threat to the establishment, y'all. But the crazy part about it, ain't nobody stopped us and showed us what we said something evil with. Mm-hmm.
Now this right here is most important for the Brews, since they always asking about, does the Owaspy mention the Hebrews? Is Yahshua in the Owaspy? Well, here you go, right here.
Right here, man. All right here. I'm saying, like, we got to slow up because we be running our mouth like we ain't Israelite. We saying we the real Israelites.
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly. We'll debate y'all on that we the real Israelites upholding the Creator while y'all upholding a false God.
Exactly. Because all the doctrines that you've been hearing today, we stand by.
Exactly.
All right. Those are the real Israelites or the faithists. You know what I mean? Doctrines of Joshua and his death. God said, these are my doctrines as I talk through Joshua. Now look what he's saying. You shall keep the 10 commandments of Moses. Oh, really? No, really? You should not engage in war, nor bet war. You shall eat no flesh of any animal, fish, bird, fowl, or creeping thing that the Creator created alive.
Now pause right there for a minute, because JJ was in the chat saying Yahshua eating fish. What he doing eating fish?
That to tell you he didn't read the book.
No, he's that's in your Bible.
Right, that's in your Bible.
In the Owaspy, Joshua is telling us not to eat flesh, nor fish, or animal, birds, or creeping thing. And nor is there a verse in the Owaspy where Yahshua eats flesh. So you got to justify that according to your Bible.
Yeah.
Why is your Bible lying on Yeshua eating fish? That's what you got to.
After death at that.
Yeah, hating on him after he did.
Yep, and then if you the Gospel of the Nazarenes straight tell you that Yahshua didn't eat no fish.
Right.
There wasn't no fish at all. He didn't even do a miracle with the fish.
First of all, you got to prove your Jesus or your time of that biblical narrative even existed.
And not only that, you got to explain how do spirits eat flesh, eat fish.
Because we see James alive during the Hasmonean dynasty, not even in the 1st century. Yeah, in the 2nd century BC.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we find the real Yeshua.
Hey.
As a matter of fact, what day is Jesus born on, JJ? What year was he born in?
He need to explain what is a spirit doing eating fish. He got to explain that.
I was just going to say that.
He got to explain that. Our Bible don't say Jesus as a spirit ate fish. You got to explain how a spirit eat fish. What is the digestive system of the spirit? So if the spirit eating fish, that means he got a shit. What are you doing? Spiritual shit. What's going on?
So is that throne really a toilet?
Nigga, you crazy. That's why I want no problems with the game, man, because you're gonna make y'all niggas look silly.
Hey, so now, so what you mean? This is Joshua Yahshua right here in Owaspy, and he's teaching not to eat flesh or fish. And you saying that he in Owaspy he did eat fish?
Show it, JJ. Come up here and show us your Owaspy that say Yeshua ate fish.
Hold on, JJ,
I think you lying. I think you just desperate.
I'm gonna give you a chance
backstage.
I'm gonna give you a chance to find it in Owaspy. Yahshua ate fish, and then I'll bring you up on stage after I finish. Cause I'm almost done.
Tell that nigga to post a chapter and verse, because we don't want to hear no goddamn gift gagging.
Yeah, you know,
mouth mumbling.
If
you about your business, you would have posted a chapter and verse in the chat, and we would have pulled it up, and we would have said, "Damn, JJ, you got one up on us, good one." We would give you that credit. But don't come in here making statements. You came back and you get online and you just running your mouth. I ain't for that.
Exactly.
You about the information. If you about this shit for real, my nigga, put chapter and verse in the chat. But we ain't gonna go mouth
I
wrestling.
bet you we don't get no chapter and no verse.
So you might as well
bet
kill
you
that.
Yeah, so you hear that, Jay?
But we could pull up in Bible. Matter of fact, you know what I mean? Pull up that verse where Yahshua ate flesh and then read what we read here to show the conflict of interest. Because if he said in the Owaspi, don't eat flesh, don't eat fish, but then in your Bible, he eating fish after he died, you got to explain that. Because we standing on what he's standing on over here. And like Mally said in the Nazarene edition, he ain't eat flesh there either. And then in the verse,
Nazarene, why would he have ever ate flesh?
And then prior to this verse, when it's explained the Essenes in the Owaspi, it showed you that they didn't eat, the Essenes didn't even eat flesh, according to the Owaspi. I would have been the first nigga to catch if Yahshua ate flesh in the Owaspi. So you playing games over here, bro.
Hey, yeah. So JJ, that's what you got to do. You got if you want us to take you serious and let you up on here, then you got to post a chapter and verse in Owaspi where Yahshua ate fish.
Bad drop.
All right. So what we gonna do? Y'all done got me out now. We gonna pull it up in the Bible and I'm gonna pull it up in the Nazarene Acts. Chapter 89, or Nazarene Gospels, chapter 89, and show that after death, Yeshua didn't eat fish. Because how a spirit eating fish anyway?
Yeah. Y'all follow the King James version, right? Yeah.
Oh no, y'all had it last.
So if you post in the chat, I'll take you serious, JJ. You can come up on there. But if not, ain't nothing shaking. It's all over but the shout. It's all over but the shout, brother.
Yeah, no mouth mumbling over here.
We're not about to entertain no foolishness. We even
exactly.
Let you get up here and just start running your mouth. If you saying Owaspi says Yahshua ate fish, post the chapter and verse. If you can't post it, we ain't gonna take you serious. Look at this. You should eat no flesh of any animal, fish, bird, fowl, or creepy thing that Jehovah created alive. Now look, I want to stop right there and come back there. Let's go show that we're gonna go show the Nazarene text and we're gonna pull up. All right. Let me stop that real quick. While I look for a Cal and see, like, go ahead and chop it up with this real quick.
They should if they fit on the nut.
Yeah, you know, we go ahead. We went ahead and nipped that in the bud. So we ain't playing games with nobody. If you ain't got chapter and verse, don't even open your mouth. That's how we move over here. Battle of the Holy Books is about the books, chapter and verse. If you make a claim, if you make a statement, you got to prove it. And we ain't denying it. If you could prove it, we can talk about it. But until then, you know what I mean? I need to stop playing games, yo.
Yeah, we ain't gonna just let you bump your chops, nigga. You can't be running your chops.
You already got beat up in the debate. Why you know what I mean? What you doing?
All right, come on.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, we gonna show and prove.
Almost there.
Y'all still ain't figured out. Y'all still confused the fact that y'all God is an angel. Y'all ain't got over that hump yet, especially with me. Y'all still ain't got over the fact that your Most High, who Tazariak say sit on the throne, is an angel. So if y'all ain't worshiping the Creator, what y'all worship? Y'all don't know what y'all worshiping, man.
Okay,
I worship. Go ahead, King.
I got that pulled up already, so let me do that, and then let me show y'all what it say in Bible, and then we're gonna go show what it say in the Gospel of the Holy 12 or the Nazarene.
And then we're gonna see which one is more practical and makes sense in real time. Does it make more sense to stay away from eating fish and flesh because it could produce parasites in the body, or does it make sense that a spirit could eat flesh?
Chapter and verse, JJ. We'll let you on if you post chapter and verse. If not, we ain't even take you serious, bro. And look, I'm gonna help you out. You ain't gonna find it. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you don't read for yourself and you allow somebody just to speedball an answer past you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The story of Yahshua is only like 2 pages in the Owaspi, so it ain't that big. So if you read it, you gonna know he ain't eating no goddamn flesh.
Exactly. Exactly. So look, let me show y'all this. Let me show you how this works. All right, we're gonna go to Bible first. And it's crazy because he was making the claim. He was making the claim that it was in a wasp.
I don't know what he was saying. See, that's another thing. Y'all ain't being y'all vague, just like your God. Y'all vague in y'all understanding. Y'all just making statements and ain't even referencing. Is it you talking to Waspy or is you talking Bible? But either or, we gonna correct your foolishness for you.
Yeah, we about to correct all that now. Because now when Jesus appeared at the Sea of Galilee, according to the book of John, the 21st chapter, your boy Jazoryak tried to bring that up real quick in our debate. He hurried up and jumped out of that hot ass water. I bet. I bet. Boy, once I start putting the timelines together, the timelines even of the resurrection is off.
Look at that.
You mean he at the Sea of Galilee when he told them don't leave Jerusalem? The Sea of Galilee is a 4-day walk each way. Hell, you mean the Sea of Galilee is the Sea of Tiberias? That's northern Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He told them in Luke, don't leave Jerusalem until Acts the 2nd chapter happened, basically. But in John, he telling them, go before me, I'm going to appear to you in Galilee. Galilee is not Jerusalem. That's northern Israel.
That's right.
And it's a 4 days journey from Jerusalem to the Sea of Galilee. And all this happened right after the resurrection. Remember, he was only supposed to be in the grave 3 days and 3 nights. It take longer to walk to the Sea of Galilee from Jerusalem. If they started walking when he died, they would have missed them by the time they got there. Hell is you talking about? Y'all don't even know that. Look, listen to me. That from Yeshua's birth, when he was born, the Bible don't agree. It was either during the days of Herod or during the days when Quirinius was governor over Syria. Either way, those are two separate time periods. How he was born, down to what hour he was crucified, or what happened right after the crucifixion. The Bible was all over the place. All right, so look, this right here is Jesus appears at the Sea of Galilee. Now watch this. After these things, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias, that's the Sea of Galilee. And on this wise showed he himself. There were together Simon Peter and Thomas called Didymus, no Diddy, and Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee and 2 other of his disciples. Simon Peter said unto them, I go fishing. They say unto him, we also go with thee. They went forth and entered into a ship immediately, and that night they caught nothing. But when the morning was now come, Jesus stood on the shore. The disciples knew not that it was Jesus. Then Jesus said to them, children, have ye any meat? They answered him, no. He said unto them, cast the net on the right side of the ship, and you shall find. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes. Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loved saith unto Peter, it is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisher's coat unto him, for he was naked. For he was naked. For he was naked. And did cast himself into the sea.
Oh man. Don't tell me this nigga is naked swimming to Jesus. What's going on, man?
Hey man. This nigga Peter's over here fishing jack naked and shit, man. Yeah. With his willy out. He's tripping, girl.
Yeah, that's the early signs of that male prostitution when the kingdom comes and shit.
Man, that deal say for he was naked. Now, when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put his fisher's coat onto him, for he was naked. And he did cast himself into the sea. And the other disciple came into a little ship, for they were not far from the land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishing. As soon then as they were come to the land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon in bread. Jesus saying to them, bring up the fish which you have now caught. Now Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land full of great fishes, and 153, and for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. Look at it. 21 and 12. Jesus saith to them, come and dine. Now, mind you, he been resurrected and he's walking the earth as a spirit man now, coming down. And none of the disciples first ask him, "Who are you?" Meaning they looking right at him and don't even recognize him. Who are you? Knowing that it was the Lord. Jesus then cometh and taketh bread and giveth them, and fish likewise. This is not a third time that Jesus showed himself to his disciples. After that, he was risen from the dead. So when they had dined, after they had eaten the fish and the bread, so when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou as me more than these?" He said unto him, "Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee." He saith to him, "Feed my lamb." So trip off there right there, right? So right there shows he partook of some type of fish after he was resurrected. Now, let me show y'all in the Gospel of the Nazarene.
Look what Jamia put on the screen.
Let me show y'all that. All right, same Sea of Tiberias. Same Sea of Tiberias. Gospel of the Holy 12, chapter 89. All right. Let's go see. Hide that sidebar right there. Blow that up. See? The Nazarene in the same literature, same thing that Owaski says. That's why it was easy for me to start reading Owaski. I'm like, dang, it's saying the same exact thing. All right, Jesus appeared at the Sea of Tiberias. After these things, Yeshua showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. And on this wise showed he himself. There were together Simon, Peter, and Thomas called Didymus, and Nathanael of Canaan in Galilee, and James and John, and two other disciples. And Peter said unto them, "I go a fishing." They say unto him, "We also go with thee." They went forth and entered into a ship immediately. And that night they caught nothing. When the morning was now come, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples knew not that it was Jesus. Then Jesus said unto them, "Children, have ye any meat?" They answered him, "Nay, Lord, not enough for all. There is nothing but a small loaf, a little oil, and a few dried fruits." And he said, what did Yeshua say to them? Look at this. And he said unto them, "Let these suffice, come and dine." And he blessed them. And they ate and were filled. And there was a pitcher of water also, and he blessed it likewise. And lo, it was the fruit of the vine. So what he had, they ate some bread. They had bread, a little oil, and a few dried fruits, probably some sun-dried tomatoes or something, and a cup of wine. Now, it don't say nothing about them eating no fish. Don't say nothing about them eating no fish. Because again, when you get into their teachings, let's go back to when he was young, right here. Let me show you what happened. It's chapter 6 of the Gospel of the Nazarene. Look at this. The childhood and youth of Yeshua. He delivered line of money. Look at it. Let me show how they ate. Now, Joseph and Mary, his parents, went up to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And they observed the feast after the manner of their brethren, who abstained from bloodshed and the eating of flesh and from strong drink. See that? He kept Passover without chewing on lamb. And without drinking strong drink. He said they observed it based off the customs of their brethren. Who were the brethren? The Essene brotherhood. I know. Let me show y'all something else, so you can see what's really going on around here. Watch this. Let me go to this table of contents. Show y'all something else. Watch this one. Watch this one right here. Hold on, bang. It might be the next one. Show you how this whole thing works. Sometimes this stuff be tripping, girl. On 1 second, fam. I want to show y'all this. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, bang. They think a game? What you think a plan? Johnny Badger was it that? Hold on.
This nigga JJ desperate for attention.
He got to post, JJ. You got to post it in the chat first before I even let you up here.
He ain't got none. He just running those yaps.
If you ain't got it, you just stuck your foot in your mouth, JJ.
He said, that's not a Wasp you're reading. We already read a Wasp. We already showed him.
We've been reading a Wasp. I'm in the Nazarene literature now. You know what I mean? I can't find what I was looking for in that other one, though. You know what I mean? But I can show you this, though. Just so we can shut something down real quick. I think it's a game, Transfiguration on the Mount, the giving of the law. Look what Yahshua say, boy. Right here. It said, "Hear, O Israel, Jehovah thy God is one. Many are my servants and my prophets, and me all live and move and have substance. You shall not take away the life of any creature for your pleasure."
Yo, right. JJ, stop it, bro. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead, man.
You shall not eat the flesh. Right here. You shall not eat the flesh, nor drink the blood of any slaughtered creature, nor yet anything which bringeth disorder to your health or senses. Easy work. All right, so let's get back to what we was on. JJ over here because all that light coming out, boy.
He said Book of East, Donna, chapter 27. Oh, man, boy, you need to stop.
Yeah, just post it so we can read it. You got to post it, man. What you doing? You got to post it. You post it. If you post it and what it's saying, then maybe we'll let you up here, player. All right, back here. Bang. We know y'all don't know what y'all talking about. All right, back to the doctrine of Joshua as stipulated in OSP. You should eat no flesh of any animal.
Now, who's saying this again, Malachi? Who's saying this again?
Joshua the Nazarene.
Where's the dog?
Okay.
Of the Essene. Born 146 BCE. Hey, look what McCullough say. S don't have a chapter that high, JJ.
Yes, Donna. He said Donna.
Yeah, just post it in the chat so we can bring it on up.
Look at
this bird. You should eat no flesh of any animal, fish, bird, fowl, or creeping thing that Jehovah created alive. You should dwell in families. Look at this. Just like with Zarathustra. You should dwell in families. Dwell in families in the manner of the ancient Israelites. Look at that. Who have all things in common. The ancient Israelites with Zarathustra. Look at this. The faithless. You shall have no king or queen, nor bow down and worship to any except your creator.
Stop. Pause right there real quick. A lot of these niggas is looking for a king to come back and save them. Some niggas looking for Yahshua. You got other niggas I'm hearing now is they talking about they waiting for King David to come back.
Yep, because it tell you that in the prophets. In Ezekiel, David gonna be their king and all that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Look at that. See, there's a difference in what we talked about. You shall have no king or queen, nor bow down and worship to any except your creator. See that? You should not call on the name of angels to worship them. Look at that. That's the
hold on. You said you shall what?
You should not
call on the name of angels. Ain't they got an angel? Wasn't it an angel that came to them in Mount Sinai?
That's right. Angel in the burning bush, angel in Mount Sinai. Stephen said in Acts 7 that the God that was hollering at Moses on Mount Sinai was an angel.
See, Yeshua's commandments just cutting their whole point. Go ahead, King.
This right here. You should not call in the name of angels to worship them, nor to counsel with them on the affairs of earth. You should love your neighbors yourself, and do to your fellow man as you would have him do to you. You should return good for evil and pity to those who sin. It has been said, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, but I say return good for evil. If a man hits you on one cheek, turn the other to him also. The man shall have only one wife, and the woman only one husband.
Now pause for a minute, King. Go back up to that one line, the line before that, 10 and 11 real quick. Yeah, read 10 and 11 real quick. No, matter of fact, 9. Give me 9 real quick. 9.
9? Okay, got you. 9.
You shall return good for evil and pity those who sin.
You shall return good for evil and pity to those who sin.
Now, verse 9, 10, and 11 is a contradiction to the God of war. The God of war would not tell you to turn the other cheek. The God of war is going to tell you to decimate your enemy. So who is Yahshua following? He can't be following the God of the same God that he destroyed the Benjamites. It can't be that God he following. So that's a point to bring out to show you that even according to what Yahshua is teaching, it goes against your Old Testament God. Go ahead, King.
Oh, wait. Look at this. Look at this right here. The man shall have only one wife, and the woman only one husband. I know that probably made a gang of niggas blow their drawers out. Boy, look at it. As the children honor the father, so will the family be blessed. Peace and plenty. Remember that all things are of the Creator, and you are his servants to help one another. And as much as you do these services to one another,
bless you, buddy.
So do you serve the Creator. Look at that. Look at that. Now watch this right here.
What's you sneezing on?
Look at this right here. Look at this. Behold only the virtues and wisdom in your neighbor. His faults you shall not discover. So in other words, you ain't even supposed to be talking about wherever your neighbor or your friend, however they fall short, whatever they shortcomings are. You're supposed to be talking about their the good that they do, what they're good at. And that actually helps them, encourages them to do better by talking about or focusing on the good they're doing and not the evil. You know what I mean? This is why his matters are with his Creator. Do not call on the name of any God or Lord in worship. Do not call on the name of any God or Lord in worship. Do not call on the name of any God or Lord in worship.
Now pause. Now, according to Bible, God is Elohim, all wrapped up, and the Lord is two fashions. You got Adonai as Lord, and then you got Lord as being Yahweh. So right here, Owaspi is exposing the fact that you are not to worship any angel, which is a God, which is God being the title of an angel, Lord being the title of an angel. You are not to worship these deities, but Yahweh only. You've been confused to think that God is the Most High. You've been to think that Jehovah, in the image and form of man, is the Most High. And Owaspi is exposing that. Look at that.
Hey, JJ said Jesus eating fishes in chapter 27 of the book of S.
Stop. And then he said the book of S. Donna.
Listen.
Well, stop it.
Hold on, listen, man. We can't even take you serious no more. Because anybody who just want to just really understand how much of a clown JJ is, just understand there is no chapter 27 in the book of S. JJ, you are terrible, man. You just gonna be a degenerate your whole life, ain't you? You did what I'm talking about. You ain't just gonna grow up a little bit. We ain't got no book of Jesus. He just be lying.
Hey, stop listening to AI,
lying, man.
Stop listening to AI. Stop listening to Meta AI. It's giving you false information.
Yeah, praying to your AI God. That's all they do in the chat. Just ask AI. They don't ask God nothing.
Hey, JJ, just a news flash. And we already talked about this as the gang, right? Just based off what we know about Owaski, we know more about Owaski than AI know about it right now. Facts, bro. Look, we've been straight putting it to the test. You know what I mean? AI don't even know too much about Owaski right now. It don't, bro. We've already had these conversations and been laughing like, dang, that's crazy that say that. Because that ain't in there nowhere.
You don't know what he's talking about. Go to the book of Jesus.
To the book of Jesus. The Jeebus. To the book of Jeebus.
At this point, we might as well ignore him. He ain't making no sense.
Book of Jeebus, chapter what?
The book of Jeebus.
Yeah, he don't know what he's talking about. You don't know what he's talking about. We reading about Yahshua right now, so obviously you ain't paying attention.
This is Yahshua's teachings we're reading right now.
Obviously,
yeah, we school attention. AI. We taught AI. Real talk. No, that's real talk.
The book of S only goes to chapter 21, brother. And that's about the ascent of the Etherian host. Yeah, You see me again, we can't take you serious. You know what I mean? Lying to the 3 people that's watching. What 3 people? It's 46 people watching this chat.
He talking about
us. I got another 13 on mine.
Man. He just gossiping, yo. He just looking for
attention. Okay. You must be in a different chat. Okay.
Yeah, he in the Lions Den.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna leave you
because I got 15 in mine alone. So
yeah, we
shout out to the gang, man. Shout out everybody stopping through. Shout out my dog OTK. Now what? K-Go.
No.
You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah. Everybody. Little dog.
All right, we almost done too. But look, this is what Yeshua is teaching in Owaski. Do not call on the name of any God or Lord in worship, but worship Jehovah only. And when you pray, let it be in this manner. Jehovah, who rules in heaven and earth, hallowed be your name, and reverend among men. Sufficient for me is my daily bread, and as much as I forgive those who trespass against me, so forgive me and make me steadfast to shun temptation. For all honor and glory are yours, worlds without end. Amen. To visit the sick and distressed, the helpless and blind, and to relieve them, to provide for the widow and orphan, and keep yourself unspotted before men. These are the way of redemption. These are the way of redemption. What you mean, Owaski? We're going to talk about how to get salvation. How to redeem. Look at this. You should take no part in the governments of men. That's why you don't hear us arguing with you mealy-mouthed misfits about Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. I mean, we laugh about it. We speak on it every once in a while, but we ain't taking none of that serious. Huh? You should take no part in the governments of men, but observe the will of Jehovah, being obedient to all governments for his sake. All men are the children of one Father who is creator. And whoever chooses him and keeps his commandments is chosen. That gotta hurt, especially if your whole doctrine is based off superiority, bigotry. That gotta hurt. Look at this. To preserve the seed of his chosen, you shall only wear with the chosen. Do not contend with any man for opinion's sake, nor for any earthly thing. What you fighting over? Huh? Look at this. And let your speech be for others' joy. But do not open your mouth if your words will give pain. Therefore, be considerate with your speech, teaching others by gentleness and love to be respectful toward all men. Preserve the sacred days of the Rabbahs. These Rabbahs go back to Zarathustra, though. These are the priests. Way before Moses, way before Kemet. Preserve the sacred days of the Rabbahs and the rites and ceremonies of the Emet Kava, the rites of faithism. All established back 9,000 years ago with Zarathustra. We see Yahshua is teaching the same exact thing. When we opened up and started teaching from Zarathustra, We get all in 7053 BC, we get all the way down to 146 BC, 110 BCE. And Yahshua is teaching the exact same thing because it came from the exact same line of light. You know what I mean? That's powerful, man. Look at this. For 3 years, Yahshua traveled among the Israelites, preaching and restoring the ancient doctrines. The key word is restoring. Huh? Restoring what? The ancient doctrines that go all the way back to Zarathustra. Huh? That Abraham picked up, Brahma, Iwata, Pole, Moses, Kapiya, Chine, Sakaya, Caillou. Now we all the way down to Yahshua, and look what he doing. Look what he doing. Look at this. Restoring the ancient doctrines. Now, what's part of the ancient doctrine? Remember how they all was living? Communities and all that, and how you eat and how you live. Look at this. And they were gathered in groups of 10s, 20s, 50s, more than 2,000 Israelites of the ancient order of Moses, who became steadfast followers of the teachings of Joshua. But because of persecution by the apostate Jews, they kept themselves aloof from the world, having signs and passwords by which they knew one another. First, the god Baal, and after him, Thoth, inspired the kings and rulers against these faiths. And they proved them by commanding them to eat flesh. You see what the false god did, JJ? False gods, to prove that we weren't down with them, they try to force feed us animal sandwiches. Go ahead, Sila.
No, that's a good point. So now we're showing you contrast. We're distinguishing the two. He just showed you that Baal was inspiring them to eat flesh and fish, while Yahshua laid down the commandments of refraining from eating flesh and fish. So, hey, you have the two comparing contrasts right here before your face.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, when you call for the rain, you got to deal with the mud, Jack. That's just what it is. Like you thought you had something, you try to crack a joke. Oh, he eating fish. You go right here, he teaching against fish. You ain't supposed to be eating none of that.
And then the inspiration of eating fish came at this point was inspired by Baal, your god El, your Canaanite god.
Look at this right here. You got your boy Baal. Dang, and he was the one. This is how we gonna prove who down with the Great Spirit. Force feed them animal sandwiches. Force feed them loin meat. By commanding them to eat flesh, even swine's flesh, which if they refuse was sufficient testimony under the laws to convict them of being enemies against the gods. So they were scourged and put to death wherever found, whenever found. Now it came to pass that Joshua went into Jerusalem to preach, and in not many days after that, he was accused of preaching Jehovah, the Creator.
Now pause right there. Now notice the Owaspi calls him Jeshu, right? Now you have in the Bible, you have the book of Joshua. Now, why would all of a sudden the name Jesus would be used when Joshua is the English rendition of Yeshua, the Hebrew word? Where'd Jesus come from? So even in the Owaspi, it's not even using Jesus. It's not using the goddamn Gentile name. It's using Yeshua or Joshua, which in return is the Hebrew Yeshua.
Facts. Look at this right here. And he came in preaching the Creator, the very Creator that Zarathustra was preaching. All right. And he was arrested. And while being carried to prison, he said, "You are hypocrites and blasphemers. You practice none of the commandments, but all the evils of Satan. Behold, the temple shall be split in two, and you shall become vagabonds in the earth." At that, the multitude cast stones. This Yahshua was murdered. They stoned him to death.
They stoned him. Big difference in your Bible.
Nailed to a cross, a Roman cross. None of that. He was stoned to death. And back then, that's what they did.
Exactly. That coincides with the law.
You know what I mean? They stone cast to death. And even if you
read it coincide with the law of the Sadducees and the Pharisees.
Right. The Leviticus law.
Yep. They would have stoned them today under the Levitical law.
So it makes more sense for him to be stoned to death than to be hung on a cross like Roman capital punishment.
Exactly. And that the multitude cast stones upon him and killed him for, get this, y'all, for teaching the Creator. And Jehovah sent a chariot of fire and bore his soul to paradise. You feel me? So that right there, y'all, that's about 100-page doc.
And then ain't nowhere in there Yahshua came back eating a piece of flesh.
None of that. So that right there is the end of that. That's part 2 of Sons of the Great Spirit and the Universal Doctrine of Light. You know what I mean?
Excellent. But it's interesting how it said he sent the chariot of fire. So they would have had to been beholden to that. The same way when the Bethlehem star appeared at his birth, now they're coming to pick him up at his death.
Yeah, that's hard, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they see now that's powerful.
They came at his birth,
and
they collected him at his death.
Yeah.
That's deep, yo.
And Cosmo, I want you to expound more on how everybody from Zarathustra to Yeshua were basically of the same stock. You know what I mean? Expound to the people what you mean when you said that, bro. Because look, when you said that to me, as I was putting this together, I kept running into the same thing. Like, whoa.
What you gonna end up finding out is the same thing that makes the modern Negro, right? The Ayin and the Ahuin, or what we are today, the modern Negro, or the Ayin-leaning Anguigan, right? Or what you would call an American Indian. What you go back and you notice and you see the same Ayin-leaning Ahuin or Angui type that what we would have been is the same thing Moses was, is the same thing Capilia was, is the same thing Zarathustra was, is the same thing Abram and Brahma. And then when you take a physical objective look at the people, other than thousands of years of admixture, which makes a people their own distinctive people, the Aboriginal people to every landmass look just alike. Long, black, coarse, nigger hair, copper color skin. That's every prophet. And now we know what they are genetically. We can still say they're tall, copper-colored people everywhere in the world, and there are mound builder stocks everywhere in the world. See, they built mounds in America and in Eastern or Western Europe. But what did they build in Africa? Tree huts.
Cow.
What did they build in the Middle East? They called them dolems. We see this same type of science and technology in the megalithic builder everywhere around the world.
Hey, Cal, I'm sure about this. I noticed running down these 11 sons of the Great Spirit. One thing I saw in common was that they all, the gift of Suis had been with their forefathers since the flood or something like that, in a name like that, right? So what kind of man, should I say, must you descend from to have that ability of Suis?
Well, any type of man or phenotypical look can be a Suis. That what your skin color is don't stop Suis, right? Or clairvoyance, clairaudience. It doesn't stop that. But what you would be looking for is a people who have a more common nature or natural understanding of their community. They would be what you would call God's people who didn't hurt anyone, people who were intelligent, highly intelligent and learned, an agrarian society who would have functioned on communal living. Right now, if you taking that into account, then that's going to be most people in the world anciently, right? But then what you gonna see is even in those stocks, there are variations in those individual stocks of people. You're gonna have basically a warrior group and a peaceful group.
Right. Okay, now look, the first stock of man on record that was able to hear and see, spiritually speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what man was that?
That was the Iron.
Iron. So
right, he would be equivalent to who people know as Adam in the Bible.
Okay, all right. So,
or actually, he would be equivalent to who everybody know as Abel in the Bible.
Okay, all right, got you. So look, check this out. So being that that's the stock that it came from, iron stock, right? And when we get down to like a Zarathustra or Pelia, Abram, and it says all of them have the ability of what's called clairaudience, clairvoyance, suis, basically the knowledge to hear, the skill to hear and to see and to converse with the spirit realm, right? All right, so would it be safe to say that all 11 sons of the Great Spirit in some way, shape, form, or fashion come from iron stock?
No, that's the simple fact that they have clairvoyance proves that they are of iron stock.
That's what I was asking.
Right. You can't have clairvoyance, clairaudience, see, talk to spirits if you don't have the people with this genetic ability to do it.
Yeah. Then that's
think they don't understand that when you say spiritual, that it's still physical. Right? It's just another rarefied form of the physical form. You see, they don't know spirit is atmospheric. It's gaseous. Right? So it's not just a thing of the spirit, it's also a thing of the seed of the genetic. Right? So for that to happen, and now the crazy part is Creator says roughly 98% of the people on the planet have this ability today.
Yeah.
Showing that and showing that what he says is these people who were white and yellow, irregardless of phenotype, right, go on to produce all the greatest prophets you've ever heard of, and the ones you've never heard of. It is through these people that you get every single prophet on the planet, from Zarathustra, the very first, 9,000 years ago, on down to today. Right?
Yeah, that's powerful. You know what I mean? I was saying it to say this. When we talk about the same line of light that was on all them brothers and all that, as I'm reading about the birth of each one of these, it give you the rundown going back 6 to 7 generations, bro. You know what I mean? And what the Louis were doing, you know what I mean? So-and-so begot so-and-so, you feel me? And then it always mentions that the light of Suis was with them and his forefathers since this time.
For thousands of years. For some of them. You dig what I'm talking about? For thousands of years.
You know, man, they get a straight lineage right there in the beginning when they get into their story. And it always, Suis always come up. Right. Always come up. I said, oh, there it is.
And then the crazy part is we don't know that the Creator got angels that deal with nothing but genetics.
Yeah, the Louis. Yeah. That one inspired your great granddaddy to get at your great grandmama. Girl, come here.
Yeah, it hit different to know that you were inspired for that. So if you got a child, good or bad, you were inspired in some way to have that child.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm talking about? Now, is there responsibility with that choice? Yes. You dig what I'm talking about? Because a father on the incline and a mother on the incline produces a child who is higher than both of them. right? A mother and father on the decline produces a child lower than they are. One on the incline, one on the decline produces a stagnant spiritual rate, right? So now we can kind of see what's going on in the day. Why the children is so unempathetic. They get it too, but yet what people say they don't care. I would just say they're not fearful. I think the creator is breeding that up out of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's breeding that up out of them. It's I don't want to say it's making them cold, but it's preparing them for the possibilities of this world.
Man. And what it's like, got these jokers out here short circuiting, JJ throwing out chapters that ain't even in a WASP, boy. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? It's truly an honor to be on this journey with you, brothers, man. C-Lot, talk to us, big homie.
Hey, man. We on a winning team, you know what I mean? You can't go wrong with Creator at the end of the day.
Can't go wrong. Yeah. And then he tell you, hey, C-Lot, he go on to tell you that nigger stock in America that they call an Indian is the catalyst for the Cosmon people.
That's crazy right there, yeah. And I'm glad you emphasizing that fact. And I'm glad you putting the emphasis on the whole indigenous of the Americas, because in the OWASP, the Americas is the highlight.
Right, it's the
last stop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the last stop. Pan was the first, and America will be the last. So that everybody looking to Jerusalem for the kingdom to come when it's over here in the West.
Yeah,
y'all looking towards the east.
Free us from the bound kingdoms of the east.
Exactly. Y'all see what's going on in the east right now. The battle of the false gods has come to earth. That's a battle between Islam and Judaism. This shit is a religious war. It's spiritual, played out in the physical. What Jaja say? What hell is like? Hell is no different than what man on earth call warfare. Fact. So when you're looking at the genocide that's going on in Palestine right now, you're looking at hell right before your face. And the spirits that cross over, the people that die in warfare shall be born in spirit and chaos on the battlefield. So now we get an insight that, damn, not only do they die physically, but they over in the spirit world in chaos, still battling imaginary foes. That's what's going on in the east, where you want to run to and claim that the new Jerusalem is going to come down in that hostile environment. Or you waiting on a prophecy in the book of Revelations that ain't even from the Most High Creator. And when we start talking like that, it shakes your boots, because you've been taught to believe that this God of the Bible is the Most High Creator. And here we come, talking about real Creator, who Creator is, regardless of what your nationality or ethic is.
And the crazy part is, if you ever want to prove that you were duped, if you ever in your life called the creator of sun, moon, and stars God, that is proof you are under the God spell. You have been duped. That is physical, objective proof. The proof you've been duped is you call God, the creator, God.
And
whoever thought God was the creator of some, if you thought God was the Most High, you was duped.
And then not only that, Cosmon, the image of God being a man or a woman that you've been taught, because most people think when they think of their God, they envision a man sitting on the throne. If you was to put in God in Google right now, what's going to pop up?
A deity. A physical man.
A physical man sitting on his hind part, sitting on the throne with angels around him. Whether he be black,
lightning bolts with wings on.
Regardless of his nationality, all nationalities been duped to believe that the Most High is in the image of a man. That's the greatest deception that man has ever played on himself.
Yep.
Because God is man, just risen in spirit, took it on a position. So if man is telling you in spirit that he is the Most High Creator and you believe him, the trick's on you. And that's what we're here to tell you, that the trick is on you. I don't care if you come from India, Africa, China, America. If you look at the Most High and he a man, you've been duped, like Cosmo said.
That's proof that you can prove to yourself. You ever thought God was a big man sitting in the sky and had a heavenly throne sitting in the kingdom? That's proof you have been indoctrinated.
And we here to indoctrinate you by telling you that the Creator is the ever-present. When Malachi Maccabee did his second round in the Creator Gang versus Lion debate, Malachi Maccabee's second round was dedicated to show you that the Most High is not in the image of a man, and that if you proclaim that the Most High is in the image of a man, you follow in a false God. That was distinguished in that verse, that round. He cleared that up in that round. And then Daryl Cosman cleared up the fact that Yahweh of the Bible has demonic tendencies, demonic characteristics.
Ain't nobody still addressed Daryl Cosman. Let's get that out the way. He called your God a demon. We still ain't improved it with your book. Right? And then ain't nobody said you. As a matter of fact, Sinetta took it off the channel.
Yeah, that's crazy. I went looking for that joint. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, he took it off.
Hey, they real heard about that. But look, Daryl Cosma had me hollering, boy. He say, he was explaining God sitting on the throne, right? And he was like, that's localized. Like that ain't, if he's on the throne, he ain't everywhere, right? So he was like, that's not ever present. That's your ass present in this chair. Boy,
but you know what though, Melly? I don't even think they wasn't even aware of the idea of the Creator being ever present until we came on the scene. They never been challenged like that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they still can't wrap they still can't wrap their head around the fact that the Most High is not a man. They struggling with that. And when we say ever present, they get lost in that. They're like, every present where he's everywhere. What are you? They try to clown it.
No, but the crazy part is you can't clown it. Their God is supposed to be everywhere.
Exactly, but he's supposed to be everywhere, but he localized.
Right, crazy.
But then when we explain how the Creator is everywhere present and break down the function and order of Creator through Vortexia, they get quiet. They ain't got nothing to say. Y'all ain't got that. We ain't describing the deity in our fact of creation.
Hey, look, hey, Sila. But when you see that same force being expressed everywhere through all creation, I'm talking about from the tip of the solar system to the tip of your fingers. It's vortex, and it's representative everywhere. The spiral, everywhere.
And they don't even know that's the force and power of Creator right there in their face.
But it makes sense though. Why would you, if you the Creator, why would you need anything else other than one force to create with?
Exactly. And then when that one force is demonstrated how it's created, you don't see no nigga at the top blowing his breath sitting on a throne creating vortices. When you see pictures of vortices, how vortices are generated? Through motion. Ain't no nigga blowing his breath at the pinnacle, at the peripheral, blowing his breath, creating a vortex in a circle. Nah. Motion is the key factor to start creation. All motion flows in the vortex, precipitating the minerals to the center, producing a globe of fire. The first visible sight of creation is a globe of fire. Let there be light. That's where that come in at. You know how many steps you got to go through before say, let there be light?
This is why the curve and the spiral is so dominant through all nature. It's representative in nature. This is why predominantly all energy forces spiral except radiation, which when you put that radiation in motion becomes magnetism, and when you give it a charge becomes electricity. So it's all the same spiraling force everywhere. Just when it's sitting still, it's called weak force or magnetism.
You see that?
Yeah.
In dormancy. That's right.
Creator's so simple. He's so simple, it mystifies you. It's just about how fast, is going, where it's at, what it's reacting upon, and how long it's been doing it, right? And at what revolution or speed or frequency is what it produces. So it could be electricity, it could be magnetism, it could be light, right? It could be gravity or so-called gravity, right?
Yeah, the strength is all determined in the spin. We can determine the spin and measure the speed of the spin based off the rise and setting of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Put a timer on that joint. All right, boom. That's how fast we spinning. This is the stability of this vortex to keep us where we at.
We know it takes roughly 24 hours to move a mass 24,000 miles in diameter. Guess what? If you move it 1,000 miles an hour, it takes 24 hours. Guess what? That's how big exactly the Earth is. So now we know that that's how fast the Earth has to move, but how fast must the vortex be moving to move that mass?
Exactly. The peripheral of the vortex is moving at an extreme speed to maintain that rotation or that speed.
And this is how you know they lied. This is how you know they lied when they said they went to outer space. You couldn't have. Not as a living human right now. You can't get out of our atmosphere.
And then not only that, the outer extreme of the Earth's vortex is still subjected to the sun's vortex in that orbit. So it's a lot going on.
It's more energy
outside
of the bubble than it is inside.
That's right.
And you got to remember what they're running into in space is solution. It's fluid.
Exactly.
This is what they not. So it's like it would be like trying to do a belly flop, right, off a high dive. If you went straight into it, you know what I mean. You hit it like.
But if you rubbing on, if you're switching in the borders, that's where that electrical spark coming in. That photosynthesis produced.
If you're turning, if you're already spiraling on an axis and going at the proper curve, you could dip into and out of our atmosphere. You just have to get in rotation with it.
That's right. Yeah, you got to lock in.
You dig what I'm talking about? You got to get in rotation with it, with the way it's spinning.
Hey, hold on. Go back down right quick, man. Look. This nigga got a fresh pair of Nikes on and shit.
That nigga got some Air Jeebuses on.
Deep shoe.
Man.
Damn. That nigga got them Ptolemies on, yo.
He got them Serapis 4s on.
Hey, man,
man. Is that ball? Is that Baal?
That's Baal. Look at that nigga. He got the goatee. That nigga got the goatee in the whole nine.
And then listen, they don't understand that the multiple deities have taken on a name. Listen, Anu Hasaj was El. Osiris was El. Baal took on the name El. And so did Luamon take on the name El. They don't even know that different gods at different times usurp that title.
And that is even proven in the Bible. You see the different characteristics of God throughout the Bible.
Yeah, this nigga look like he licked his eyebrows, man. This
nigga look like Chili Monk.
Yeah. Yo. What if that's not Baal? What if that is old Osiris?
Because they do got the same goddamn headdress on.
I mean, you don't. Think about it. How would you tell? How do you tell?
Look at him sitting on that throne.
Yep.
Right. And then both of them are wearing the same headdress. Osiris and Baal. In different pictures, they're wearing the same headdress.
And then we never really, question where Baal came from. That nigga
they don't know.
Asia too, goddamn.
They don't know. They don't even know Baal was Osiris's little homie. That's
why.
little Chile Mong, little homie.
Exactly. That's why he wearing the hat, because he was a servant to Osiris. See, we got the story.
Because you're right. He was a servant to Osiris. And then this is why in the Ugaritic text, right? In the Akkadian text, you see an overthrow from El, right? And Yam, the god of the lakes and rivers, and over there in that area, the greatest one is the Nile. The god of the Nile was Osir, right? He is Yam, the son of El, the lord of the Nile and the waters, right? And in the Ugaritic text, it tells the story of El or Baal overthrowing Yam or Osiris. That only makes sense when you know that Ashtaroth and Baal both overthrew, or first of all, worked for Osiris and then overthrew Osiris. They warred against him.
Exactly. And there you go right there. So look, you see the crown. You know what I mean? You see him sitting on the throne, showing his authority. You see Tahuti right there. You mean Haru. You see Haru right there. That look like the Judgment Hall of Ma'at. That's what that looks like.
Yeah, but Haru is Baal.
Yep.
So there he is right there.
Haru is Baal.
That's pre-Baal as far as him being independent.
Look, this is right behind them. That's Isis and Anet.
Right, that's what that is. And Anet, I keep messing up that name.
But dig this. Guess who Anet was the sister of, supposedly in the text, and also beef with, and also still helped Baal? Ashtaroth. Anet and Ashtaroth, they so close. First of all, they are the same person. Let's just get that out the way. Ashtaroth and Anet are the same person. She's also Astera. She's also Hathor.
She got them.
She's also Isis.
She everybody. Cause that was the Trinitarian right there. Was Baal, Osiris, and Hathor. I mean, Ashtarai.
And Ashtarai. Right? She the Ashtarai, the Ashtaroth of the Persians. You dig what I'm talking about? She is also Inanna. You dig what I'm talking about? Of Sumerian fame. She go back that far. They came up under Anu Hassaj, who y'all know as Anu of Sumer. Y'all mistaking them, calling them Anunnaki.
Right.
That's just where Anu's heaven was situated over what we now call the Middle East and Persia. Right?
Hey, Kyle, what you were saying about Yam? Say that again. You were saying about Yam. Yam is what you were saying about Yam?
Yam is the god of the rivers and the lakes and the water. He is the son of El, the brother of Baal, the brother of Anet, the brother of Astet. They all the 70 children of El Elyon, right? El Elyon, at the time the story would have been told, would have been Anu Hassad. Yam was Osiris. So we can back this story up in between. This is pre Dynasty 0. So we 30, let's just say 3750 to 3300. We back that far. Yam means water and lake and river, right? Yam was the god of the land, right? He dominated the land. That's literally what Osiris means. Osiris means land god. But guess what? At the same time, so does Anki mean land god. And guess what? So does Ai. Ea. Ai means land god. Just so happened we see a man named Chilemon given a title as the head land god or Osiris. Right?
Now, what about this? This right here, y'all see on the screen, the
Wow.
Hebrew word yam. First appears. Let me go back so y'all can see. Mally over here making stuff up, man. It first goes back to Genesis 1:26. Look what it says. It says, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness and let them have dominion over the fish of the who? The sea. Let's click on that word for sea. Yam. Now, what you were saying about Yam being a god of the waters, and
he's the god of
specifically
the Nile and the Mediterranean.
Okay. I got you. Hold on, bro. Outline of biblical usage.
Wow.
Sea, west, westward, west side, sea, firmament, south. Outline of biblical usage. Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, Dead Sea, Sea of Galilee. What that say down there, boy? Nile. Nile.
Dagger and every shit. This is what I'm telling y'all. Y'all got to rock with the gang.
So right here,
you don't know who the stinging catfish is. You got to know who it is.
The word for sea
we pre-chem it.
And just so happened, Yam is the name of a Kemetic deity. And he's the god over the water, specifically the Nile. And we go look the Hebrew word up for sea. In Genesis 1:26, we get the Mediterranean Sea and the Nile River in the definition.
Seaward, westward. And those were the dominions. Think about this. Those were the dominions of Osiris. They were westward. They was in primarily
Psalms H 32:20. Yam.
Primarily the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. So that been west of the dominant place and people at the time who, remember, Anu said he gonna dominate the nigga of the Middle East. I mean the nigga of Persia, the Persians. He said, I want to dominate them. They the biggest, best people in the world at the time. Right?
El, deity, right?
There he is.
There you go.
Rated El. And those who say over here, King of the Gods. Sitting on the throne, Gilead statuette El Temugi. Now let's look at some of El's children. Let's back up with, because I know a lot of people think that we just be talking. Okay, children of El. What we got here? A Nox, Ashtar, Baal, Mot, Shahar, Shalim, Shapash, who? Yam. The Mesopotamian equivalent for El is Anu. Look at that. Anu and Enlil.
I can't make it up this good.
What are we talking about, bro?
I can't even make it up this good.
There is.
How I know? That Mally, can you pull up your calculator for me? Let me show you how really deep we go with this science. We're gonna break Sumer all the way down for him. We're gonna break Sumer back wide open. Right? Because Cosmon gonna show you how to tell time in Sumer.
Calculator.
I'm gonna teach you how to tell time. Right? Remember, in the Sumerian kings list, they give a list of kings that go on for roughly 432,000 years. Very specific number, right? 432,000. You find out that those are the dimensions of the Great Pyramids of the Earth. Okay. And it's also the dimensions of a man. Also, the square root of the planet in kilometers.
Okay, I got the calculator up, Cal. What you want to do?
Now they'll tell you in these stories, in these tales, that like a man, like let's just say the father of Gilgamesh, right? Who they say is a real person, right? His name was Lugal Banda. Name like It means like special big man. That's what Lugo Banda means, right? So they accredit him for giving birth to the great Gilgamesh, right? Roughly about 2700 BC, right? They say in his story that he lived and ruled for 28,000 years. Y'all niggas got y'all ears on? If you say 432,000, what they missing, Sela? Are they missing the inhabitable age?
Bring it out, son.
Listen, yeah, the 432,000 that was created by the Hindus to hide the truth on purpose because he knew people who would have this knowledge would use and dominate the game and the system, using it because the system works whether a bad guy uses it or a good guy uses it. It's like a gun.
Those 3 ages right there.
Right? Those are 3 ages, but there are 4 ages.
That's right.
To tell a time and an age in a house. It's 576,000 years, not 432. This is why they give you the Kali Yuga, right? The Kali Yuga, the times of the destruction. Because in the time, right? Because you're actually missing the time of the life. This is why it's done in Kali.
So basically, Melly, what you're doing is doing 144,000 times 3.
So
no. I'm about to twist your cap.
Oh
no, we about to do something. We about to break Sumer down. I'm gonna show you how they lived all these many years.
Heard. So
man,
let me know what to type in.
Do me a favor.
Hold on, he gonna get that because it's gonna come to that 432 you was talking about.
So type 432 in.
No, I was just telling when Cosmo asked, and he was like, "Yo, Sela, what
I'm
time
about
it is?"
to do something even more simpler.
Yeah, when he's talking about with that 432.
They said that Lugo Banda ruled in Sumer for 28,000 years. Now we know for a damn fact, even Methuselah ain't lived that long. So what are they actually saying?
Right.
I'm about to bust Sumer wide open for you.
And you pulling this out on Watch Me right here, what you about to read? Or you about to do mathematics?
No. Just simple mathematics.
All right, while you do that, I'm gonna pull out a verse from a Watch Me that's gonna coincide with what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yup.
Let me know what y'all want me to put up on the screen. I got the calculator out. What's the word, Cal?
Watch this. They say Lugo Banda ruled for 28,000 years, right? Let me blow the top off of Sumer for you. Just all you got to do to make Sumer make sense, right? To make Sumer make sense, all you got to do is turn the years into days. So you take the 28,000 years, turn them into 28,000 days, and then extrapolate. Yep.
All right, so what you want me to type in, Cal?
How much is 28,000 days?
Watch this. 28,000. You say days?
28,000 days.
How many days in
how many? Yeah, how many days? How many years are in 28,000 days?
28,000 divided by 365. Okay, so 28,000. 1, 2, 3 divided by 365 for the days. We get 76.7. What is that? 76.71.
Now, this is how you make it make sense. Lugo Banda didn't rule for 28,000 years. He ruled for 28,000 days. The 365,000 year Ashar is actually a 365 year count. So if you turn the 28,000 years to days, now it makes sense how a man can rule 28,000 anything, because he actually only ruled 76 years.
Oh, okay. Got you.
You see what I'm saying? This is how you, and now if you do that same division, on 432,000.
Okay. 4, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0 divided by 3, 6, 5. We get 1,183.
What happened?
I told you these too many more.
Now turn to 430. No. Turn to 432,000. Right? In today's
432,000
days.
and we want to know how many days is in 432,000 years.
Yeah, watch this.
Divided by 3, 6, 5, right?
How many days are in 432,000 years? How much you want to bet it's like 600 something years?
1,183. So 1,183 days. Is that right? Which would be roughly what, 3 to 4 years?
No.
Unless I'm doing it wrong.
Paul. CDE, that's right.
Across the
Now, if you convert that 432,000 days, you should have got something like 1,180 years.
Yeah, that's what I got. 1183.
What you get?
1183.
1183.56.
Yeah.
I got 1180.
So what you dividing the 432 by? 432,000 by what?
300. You know what? It is 366. I use 366.
Look, you know what? I think we should do a presentation on it.
366 day years.
You done turn this into a math class now. So y'all in math class.
Yeah, do a presentation on it and put all the charts and calculators and everything up side by side. And then that way you can go ahead and expose the calendar.
See, I was looking for that version of Waspi where it talks about the Egyptian records were so voluminous it was confusing from head to tail.
Arcabon, chapter 20.
Yeah. And then there was another one where it talked about the measurement of man, how they measure time by measuring as a man, and how that got mixed up with believing that man is 1,000 years when he's saying like what Cal said.
Is that them sun
Right,
laws, Osiris?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right. So basically they'll say something like a man lived or ruled 2,700 years, right? In actuality, that's only 1,000 days.
Right, which would be a little bit over 3 years.
A little over 2 years, 3 years,
Right.
2 years.
Niggas running around thinking niggas is 2,000 years old out this joint.
Right. When they're counting the day, they're counting the 360.
Matter of fact, hey, go right here. If you it's in the book of the Arcabon, chapter 22, verse 19. It states Touching genealogy. You want to pull it up, Melly, or you
Oh,
good?
you know I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up
All right.
right now.
Already Nizzle. Book of the Ark of Bond 22, starting from 19. 19 to 21.
This doing Chinese. This doing Chinese thing.
This is
Yeah.
how you break down
Yeah, this the
Sumer.
last-
All
this
that
the
great
last arc.
time.
You said
This how
Ark
you
of Bond,
break
chapter
Sumer down.
22. What verse?
19.
22 and 19?
Yeah.
14, 15, 16. So I only got 17.
Oh, hold up. You know what? My bad.
And-
20. Chapter 20. My bad.
20 years.
Yeah, chapter
And
20,
remember,
19.
they would have still seen the regular sun cycle. You dig what I'm talking about through their system of 60. So it'd have been 10 times whatever we was looking at anyway. So now that you understand that there are 365 days in a year, well, in the Sumerian long count, it should be 3,650 instead of 365. But what they're not understanding is they're breaking parts of the day down.
Right. So this basically what caused my referencing to a degree.
So they're not in full years. They're actually day counts.
Right. So when you
Because
hear
that's
when
what
you
they're actually counting.
right when you hear they talk about how Adam lived 900 and this amount of years, and the descendants of Adam lived all these lengthy years, this is an explanation of how that came about.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mally.
All right. Ark of Bond 20 and 19.
Yeah.
It says touching genealogies. Touching genealogies in which men seem to have lived to so great an age. This then is the explanation for it. Verse 20. Thotma had said to his recorders in searching for the truth of legends, give the latitude of it. For one legend will say such a man lived 700 years ago. Another legend will say he lived 1,050 years ago. The latitude between them is therefore 350 years, which shall be the time of that man's life. And in this way, latitude became confounded with fact and with no intent to deceive.
See that?
Verse 21. Hold on. Right here. He gives an example. In the example, the man lived sometime between the span of 350 years. That is, he lived for some unspecified duration, sometime between 700 and 1,050 years before the date of recording. And this 350 years of latitude, range, extent of applicability during which a person lived became confused with a person's age and death. That is, the lower and upper limits of the latitude incorrectly became thought of as the points of birth and death of that person. As a result, such a person was mistakenly thought to have been 350 years old when he died. Dang.
Yo, don't tell me OSB don't clear. So all that shit about Adam living now, you can throw it out the window. It's saying something different.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. That's crazy, bro.
Adam may have been 93 when he died, goddamn it. Shit.
Right.
Go
Right. 93, not 930.
But there is, I ain't gonna lie, there is a section in the Owaspy in the book of
Well, they was getting up there, but if you even if you count their years, the most they was maxing out was
like
400, 350.
Yeah, but it was like 2 or 3. Yeah, but yeah, that's crazy.
350, 250. You know, I mean, that's a long time though.
Yeah, that is. That is a long time, bro.
You dig what I'm saying? So they was living to at least double what.
And you know what, Cosmo, that would make sense because that's right after the flood, and that's when that's before. I'm thinking of Adam.
I thought that was before.
No, I was thinking of Adam time. I'm thinking of Adam in the flood, mixing them time periods. But yeah, that just shows you how them years got confused with being the years of men when they were judging.
I think we get a remnant of it, a memory of it, through the tales that we hear in the Bible of the sons of Seth and the sons of Cain, remembering the spiritual side of the game and the physical side of the game. Through, you know what I mean? And once you understand that Noah time, it opened up everything.
Yeah.
What that mean? Everything else is before him. A time. You dig what I'm saying? So
They really coded that Bible, boy.
yeah. Shout out to homeboy Naughty, man.
Can you get it off me? Thanks.
Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all got to come and step into this new light, man. What they've been telling us ain't all the way 100. And whatever, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna just go out on the line and say everything you know got a slant in it. If you think you smart today and you don't know the creator, you way behind.
Way behind.
You way behind. If you ever called the creator God, you already just understand you've been duped. Come on in. I know.
Boy, what you said, boy, it's time to come on home, man.
Yep, I know. You'll get in tomorrow, champ.
It's all good. Hey, look, we've been on here a little bit over 5 hours, right?
Good Lord, that's
Good.
crazy.
Give us some last words, both y'all brothers, man. Cosmo and Cal, give us some last words, brother.
Hey, man, y'all know what it is with me, man. Cosmo the Cloud Kicker, man. Y'all go over there to Cosmo Cal TV, sub, like, share, man. Y'all go to Selah Shalom. Y'all go to Honor and Humility. Y'all check out Creator Gang TV. Sub, like, share, man. You dig what I'm talking about? We be going in. Half the time we don't even be on Earth. and still make it make objective sense.
That's right.
You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out Malachi Maccabee, man. Shout out the fam, man. Peace to the righteous gods. Hey, Mally.
What's the word?
Yo, see y'all, man. Hey, y'all can do something for me real quick.
Let's go.
Y'all just breathe in.
And let the
Let
light
that
in.
light in.
That light in, boy.
I'm out, man. Hey, salute to everybody in the chat. I'm gonna fall back.
Would you kill your child, your son?
Gang, gang.
God told you to.
Peace, gang.
You said the Most High told me to?
Yeah.
Or yeah, man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is. Yeah, man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is.
Yeah, man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is.
A 22-year-old woman told hotel workers in Holmes County that she had been directed by God. To go on a shooting spree about the solar eclipse, and that not long after she left the hotel in a purple Dodge Challenger driving to the interstate, traveling west, shooting into 2 cars. One of the drivers was shot in the neck, the other grazed in his arm.
If your God came to you right now, tonight, in pomp and glory, shining, and he commanded the death of your child, would you sacrifice your child?
If the Most High is going to do it, of course. If the Most High is going to do it, of course. If the Most High is going to do it, of course.
Peter Lucas Moses refers to himself as a radical religious person who is with the Black Hebrews. And he just pleaded guilty to killing a 4-year-old and a woman that he was living with. He killed the 4-year-old because he thought he was gay.
Action. Moses believed 4-year-old Higginbotham was homosexual. Klein says Moses took Higginbotham to the garage, played the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, and shot him.
If God came to you and told you to sacrifice your kid, would you sacrifice your kid?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
God is called a terrible, demon-like power. God is called a terrible, demon-like power. God is called the terrible, demon-like power. So Napa means empty, you could say, or open. Shita means demon, or demon-like or terrible. Shita means demon, or demon-like or terrible. Shita means demon, or demon-like or terrible.
According to the criminal complaint, Polite told investigators God told him to shoot Pastor Germany.
God told him to shoot Pastor Germany.
And he wanted to go to jail to clear his mind.
Would you kill your child or your grandchild if your God told you to?
Oh, man.
So that's a yes?
Yeah, It's a yes. It's a yes.
It's a yes.
But I think that it would be a test. I don't think the Lord would actually tell you to do it. I think it would just be a test because we can see.
You be willing to go through with it.
Or go through. I'll go through any trial the Lord puts me through.
The leader Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the self-proclaimed Son of God, one day in 1981, her North Dade home became a house of death. Banks and her husband, Carlton Carey, had just returned from talking with police about another Yahweh member who had been decapitated. Today, Yahweh Ben Yahweh is charged in her attempted murder and the death of her husband. October 1986, Yahweh's take over an Opalaka apartment building. Two residents who were ordered to leave publicly complained. That night, both were shot to death.
Wow! Judah, do you hear me? If the Most High Yahweh tells you to kill your family, would you do it? Yes or no?
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes.
Oh, Judah, no. Damn.
Judah didn't mean that, y'all.
If the Most High say, put your family down, would you do it for the Most High?
By faith, yes. By faith, yes.
By faith, yes.
But he's going to tell me not to do it, just like he did Abraham. We have a story like that already. Next.
The moral law is that if a child was to be rebellious, okay, towards the parents, they was to be taken out and be stoned to death because of that. You see what I'm saying?
Would you do that? Would you do that if your God came back to you today in glory and said, I want you to stone your son if he get rebellious? Would you? Would you do it?
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would.
Wow.
The Most High was to come to you and ask you to off your loved ones. Would you do it, brother?
If I had made the mistake, if I didn't have ancestors inside of me and I made the mistake to make babies with outside nations, and then I heard the download from my ancestors saying that you need to put them away, yes, I will put them away. Yes, I will put them away.
Yes, I will put them away.
Okay, Judah Nazareth, if the Most High come to you and say, I want you to put down your family, I have a better movement for you that I need you to do, would you do it?
They're out of here. They're out of here.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feel it when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, just that job theft, that chow mein, that pepper bull, that towel man since sunset in the arc of Wayne. My brain moving like Tao saying, so ass above, it's so below. That up and that down thing, this flow is atmospheric. I call that a ground game. See, water is knowledge, so if I'm teaching, you're learning. So how your God make a sun without vortexing current? See the pattern is panic, I'm reaching out for my people. Oh, watch me flow through your speakers, you feel the force of the ether. And when the force gets to equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing political. My DNA is Moshe. Mix that thing with higher water. My spirit rate is OTN. It's just a higher order. Got more light than Kavita. Rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint. Shout out my big homie Sela. Got more torque than a sports car. Got more work than a door-star. In the $4 million I make, I'm giving the Dr. Umar, oh yeah. yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky, breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky, breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahuin is now a Angui. Blame my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. Oh, watch me flow, it's so potent. Set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you make it Salat. Well, I'm an Israelite, I'ma make the method Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faith that's so yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky, breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky, breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah.